Hello there, world. Bettina Carey here, and I'm the founder and CEO of WeEmpowerYourLife.com, where we help you to shatter glass ceilings with the power of your business network. And for those of you who are new to us, I'm your host and founder of We Empower You, the online community of like-minded people and a global empowerment movement designed for coaches and entrepreneurs. If you're watching us right now on Facebook, you want to go to the website, WeEmpowerYourLife.com, click on the calendar tab and get the Zoom details. And that way you can join us here every single Wednesday, except for when we have our We Empower You summits, which are March the 8th coming up. So stay tuned for more details about that as well. So want a business you can run on your cell phone? I know I do. Today's mentoring is about turning your cell phone business contacts into an ongoing income. And when you send a person to a business using your cell phone, you can make money. Lee Romanoff is with us today. She's our millionaire mentor. She's going to be sharing how you can take those business contacts that you're already sending business to, those trusted contacts, those high integrity referral selling partners, and make money at the same time. Thank you so much, Lee. Take it away.
Thank you, Bettina. So before I go into any screen sharing or something, I really want to talk about target marketing. And why I'm talking about target marketing, getting involved in it right now, is because, just a sec, my mouse is going crazy. I had an interesting conversation with one person that's just right here, Sal. And Sal, you're fine to open up your mouth, your mic. And what the thing is Sal asked me, he said, I just want to make my first dime. I just want to make my first, dollar on, the internet. And how do I go about doing that? And he says, I've got so much going on. I've got all this kind of information and knowledge and everything to share. And that's actually the problem with most entrepreneurs. They know too much, they want to share too much, and they want to be an Amazon right out of the gate and say, is anyone going to buy anything? Just buy anything. And internet marketing, Google searches are niche marketing. They're not global, and people think they're global. All these people, there's got to be something they want, right? And it's like if you go out to buy some fish and you walk into a shoe store and you walk out because you wanted to buy fish, it doesn't mean you don't like shoes, but you wanted to do a certain thing at a certain time. And that's what internet marketing is. If you're doing a specific search and you get a website that is offering too much or not what you're searching for, you will go away because you have to make a decision in under 3 seconds of whether you want to stay. And the decision works two ways. They search and they look at your images. If your images tell them exactly that they're in the right place for that one search, they will stay. And if you can answer their search inquiry, do you sell red shoes? Yes, here we sell great red shoes. If you can answer their inquiry, you've got them. Other than that, you won't have them. So you've got to understand that the internet is extremely niche marketing. And once someone does a search, you need to determine what search target are you going after? What exactly is your top search that you're going to go after? And as soon as someone searches, I'm going to be there giving them the answer. And once you give them the answer, you got to control them. You say, here we sell the best red shoes. And if you want the best red shoes at the best price, do this. You've got to give them a reason to do something, okay, that helps them out, that leads to your revenue stream. That's it. One search, one answer, and one action that will help them out and lead to your revenue stream. If you do anything other than that, you're going to have a hard time making money online. You're going to have a hard time communicating with people anyway. Because if someone comes up to you and says, hi, have you, do you know who sells their best red shoes? And you say, you look at this wardrobe over here. You don't do that in real life. You answer the question. But somehow there's a big disconnect online that you don't pay attention to what the search is to your answer, to give them advice and leading them to your revenue stream. You do it live to air, you do it in every other situation except online. And that's why people don't make money online, because they don't know it's super niche marketing, as if you're having a conversation with somebody. But you see, thousands of people would search for that. So if you get that attention, now I even go into more detail, and I say, whatever that is, and I was talking to Sal about this, when I went and created the insurance hotline website and said, come to this website for the lowest car insurance rates. It's not that I was born into insurance. I don't like insurance any more than anyone else, but I found something that an audience resonated with. Drivers want to find lowest car insurance rates. I wasn't in the industry, and it wasn't even something I liked, but I had that information that I could give them. And come to my website for the lowest car insurance rates. People would search lowest car insurance rates, come, and I would say, put in your postal code or zip code to get the lowest car insurance rates. I gave them an action that would give them what they want, and I would send a $5 lead to insurance companies. With knowing my focus, lowest car insurance rates, like really clearly knowing my focus, that created every news thing I did, every TV show I had, every ad I created, every radio station, because that was what people resonated with. The one thing. I didn't talk about, oh, you could buy a Porsche, or you could get your tires here, that's confusing stuff. So if I wanted to make $5, I had to stay with the message, and I had to get the message out that would resonate with people. And that's it. You've got to get your message that resonates. Get that, and you've got it nailed. And then once you're making 5, 10, 15,000, 20,000 a month, you can do whatever you want to do. But then you go in and you think, okay, well, how can I turn that one message that just got me a $5 lead or whatever it happened to be, how can I now take that into creating an annual income? And that's the key. That's a big key, because when I was having the insurance hotline, I was saying, yes, I just made $5, but I made like $5 and $5 and $5, and it was tracking, and I would average, if I didn't do anything that month because I had the momentum, $20,000 a month. But when I promoted myself, $50,000 a month. But I had to keep doing that. And I noticed that the insurance brokers that I was sending leads to were making the millions of dollars, because they got people, they sold into a product that renewed annually. And I thought, aha, my next business, I'm going to give people what they want. And what they want, the majority, just look around, they all want independence. They all want to make money online. They want to quit their job. They want to have security that they have, not if their boss thinks they have security. They want security. So right now, where people have been shaken to the core and they're holding on to what revenue they can right now, they are open to learning how to create an online income. They are so open to that, and especially with WordPress and their censorship. They've 2 million websites they took down because it didn't align with what they want. I mean, this is serious business. So you've got a foot in the door, that people, they want to know how to create an online income. So when I created incomeactivator.com, I said, here, come and get the lowest, get the best website builder. And when I did that, I realized that when I went to like WordPress, GoDaddy, Wix, every one of those website builders kept the lead tracking software that Google uses, Angie's List, YouTube. They kept that away from you. They did not give you the lead tracking software. All these companies that are making millions and billions of dollars online are not creating their own product, are not selling to their audience. They're just sending leads to businesses that pay. That's it. That's what they're doing. So now the Income Activator platform says, okay, let's take that same software that Google, YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, Angie's List, Home Advisors, let's give it to the entrepreneur so at least they can try to do what's in your face about creating millions of dollars online. Like, give it a shot while you're working for another company, while you're playing around doing what you're doing on your website. Give the multi-million-dollar strategy a shot, which is really simple. Someone give me your content and I will give you back a lead. That's it. Sounds too easy, but everybody here is their own walking and talking Angie's List. Everybody. And you've got the software that Torstar paid me over $2 million for in your pocket right now, where you can say to somebody, oh, wow, you do bookkeeping. I know so many people that would love a good bookkeeper. Why don't I add you to my directory? And when I send you a lead, that means I'll recommend you. As soon as I do, will you pay me $10? That business probably pays $1,000 a month to pay-per-click ads through Google or ads in Facebook or something. And they're never guaranteed the person's name, email, and what they're wanting, ever. But if they paid you $1,000, that's 100 people that complete your referral form and says, I want this, and I was referred. And as soon as you get referred, the close ratio jumps from 1% to 40%. Huge. So you've done yourself a favor, you've done them a favor, and they will never go away. So now when I say cell phone, let's say you do your directory and you have 10 top businesses that you recommend in your field. I'm not talking about your message or anything like that, but just as part of what you do, because my message for Insurance Hotline is get a website that's focused on income. But that doesn't mean I can't refer business to people that want to write books, that want the best copywriters, that want accountants and lawyers and tax people. I can still refer that. So when I'm out for lunch with somebody, like I was out for lunch with Beth, and she said, do you know anybody that pays for speakers? And I said, yeah, Susan does. I picked up my phone, I opened up my directory, which is on my website, but it's also on my phone. And I just put Beth's name in. I said, look, I just connected you with Susan. Susan at that moment paid me $20 and Beth bought lunch. That's a deal for me. And I can do it anywhere I go. When I was telling Sal, when I was at, what's his name? Who's the guy that does the soul book, Chicken Soup for the Souls? Jack Canfield, right.
Jack Canfield.
I was at Jan Canfield's home office, and I'm sitting there with his the woman he works with, Patty Albury. And Patty is sort of sitting back and she's answering calls after calls, texts and phone calls from people. She may have answered 50 calls. And she was referring people to copywriters and book publishers and all the kind. And I'm looking over, and in my head, I'm doing $20 plus $20 plus $20, and there's like $400 she could have made if she simply implemented, and it just takes a mindset to do it, the people that she refers to pay her for the lead. You just need to understand that your business, your recommendations is a business. And these companies get paid billions of dollars for what you're giving away for free. And you have it sitting there in your cell phone. And you're wondering why I can't make any money. Because you're not thinking like the multi-million-dollar companies. You have value. Your advice is worth, your advice is worth millions. And if I had ever taken that, said, okay, well, look, I'm just going to refer people to this car insurance broker that I know, which I could have done, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And then I was talking to Sal and said, Sal, yeah, I don't live and breathe insurance. I never did. But it's given me the opportunity to do whatever I want to do. And what I want to do is what I'm doing now, is trying to create a little bit of a wave to save some souls from doing dumb. I want to stop people from creating, courses and books and trying to sell people online, when if they could just understand that they are their own directory. They have a cell phone that can make them millions every time they go out and meet. And then once they get that, and what I would put on my cell phone is I would put the business on a box on my cell phone or on my directory for sure. And I would sell into that, because if I get 100 people that want to buy the business in a box, one, it gives them the best website platform ever. It gives them these weekly strategies. It gives them a list of 400 media that they can contact, the radio stations with listening audiences up to 100,000. Do you know how much that would curve your business if you are on a radio station? I do. That's why I got my own TV show. And sponsors, it comes up with 400 sponsors that you can connect and say, do you want to sponsor my message? And you know what your message is, because people are searching for it. Now the sponsors are giving you money. That's okay, because it's angel sponsorship. You don't have to pay back. It's not like getting an angel investor. You don't want that. You want an angel sponsor that aligns with your message. And you've got the friggin' TV show, the 5-minute TV show that's there, that you can tell them what your message is. And then you can say to the sponsors, do you align with this message? You have got everything in your pocket right now. And even if you don't get the business in a box, you can say to somebody, say, here is the $1 million answer to creating your $1 million business, without a doubt. Here it is. And if you get 100 people that want to go that way, instead of keeping and doing, stupid, like, Wix is for kids, to be honest, that's where it came from. Wix is for kids. Okay. So if you want to actually help people and create an income for yourself that just goes on, 100 people, $80,000 a year. Okay, I can do that. I can talk to 100 people. I can go out and just meet with people every week, twice a week. And I will, and I just do my number. So maybe that's 2 people there. Maybe that's 3 people there. It all adds up. Get on a radio station, include your message into the business in a box. Say, hey, yeah, you can buy my message, and here's where you go, and I'll make money from it. But you can have my message, my service, and you can have the business in a box to do what I'm doing. Be a leader. Show people how we're doing. That's what we're doing here. Now let me just share my screen, because this is really exciting, you guys. You've got it all. You have got it all, and they don't. But here's what's happened. And they talk about brainwashing. Well, bingo. these companies, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, Angie's like every company, they have spent billions of dollars to get you to work for them for free, having you give them your content for free so that they can make money by sending businesses leads. And you're saying, okay, well, somehow this is going to work out for me. I know that. No, it's not. It's like throwing you a little piece of cheese every time. And even YouTube says, oh, look, let me share my lead revenue with you. Or Google says, yeah, let's go on a pay-per-click thing. Garbage. That stuff doesn't track. You don't have control over your revenue. You don't have control over your advertisers. You don't have control over the businesses you send leads to. It's insane. But then they thought, well, maybe people are catching on, so maybe we should share this type of thing and have total control over them. That's what they've done to you. They don't even let you think that you can approach the people you're already recommending and make money from it. It's not even crossing your mind because they don't ever talk about the lead tracking software ever once. And then you've got these self-proclaimed gurus that are making money from you saying, oh, write your book, do your course, sell online. And then you guys end up here saying, well, I don't get it. And I don't know. It's in front of your face. Look at what the multi-million-dollar companies do. It's easy. Give us your content. We'll send you back leads. That's it. I experienced it. I was lucky. So let me, I almost clicked the leave button. So that's all, folks. So let me just go over here. So this is one of my media pages that I'm working on, but here, this woman, your secret multi-million-dollar business you're not going to tell your friends about. Let them keep linking stuff for free to people as you start connecting people on your cell phone, creating income. So let me play this quick video for you. It's only 3 minutes. It's time you start getting paid for sending leads to businesses you recommend. Google gets paid for sending these businesses leads. Why shouldn't you? I am Lee Romanoff, president of Income Activator, and we have the software to send, track, and create your invoices from leads coming from your website, social media sites, blogs, and your cell phone. Lead revenue is the most profitable way of making money online. Statistically, only 1% of your visitors may buy from you, whereas up to 40% of your website traffic may follow your recommendation when it's free for them to do so, and it saves them money or gives them a benefit like a free consultation. You can also put your referral forms on any website or blog. Every website should have its own resource section or business directory making passive income. Angie created a business directory and is reporting annual earnings of over $340 million. When a business pays $1,000 in advertising, there's no guarantee that anyone will contact them. But if they pay you $10 per lead, they'll receive 100 interested contacts for the $1,000. The best part about leads is that they're based on the referral, not on the sale. So your revenue isn't dependent on that guy's ability to sell. Thank goodness. You can even send leads from your cell phone. This is great news for network marketers. Instead of taking someone's business card and tossing it into your business card collection, set them up to receive leads from you. Plus, you can send one lead to multiple companies and get paid by all of them at once. This worked for companies that bid for business, like movers, contractors, and renovators. You can have a website quoting the lowest prices for any service. When a visitor completes your referral form and clicks on the submit button, they're shown the companies that will be quoting them their best price. When you send leads to 10 businesses, all paying $10 each to quote, that's $100 per lead. 10 people a month completing your referral form is $1,000 in your pocket. If you're new to this, make this into a hobby while imagining how fabulous it would be to quit your job. We're all becoming our own brand of experts, consultants, and freelancers with their own unique talents, strengths, and experience. And there's no ceiling on the money you can make when you run your own online business. It's time to stop getting distracted by the next new thing or by useless apps. And stop paying gurus that have never made money online teach you how to make money online. If you don't know by now, gurus will not make your dreams come true. Only you will. So start. So I'm just going to turn, go back, stop the share. And I want to have an open discussion, if that's okay, because this is so important, because you've got you've got it right now. I don't care what your focus is. It works for every focus. It works for every business. And I'll give you an example. I call these hub companies. Okay, I call them hub companies, hub websites. All multi-million-dollar businesses are hub websites. Think about it. If I wanted to open up a hub company and be the largest taxi service, I would say, give me your cars and then I'll send you back leads. That's Uber. If I wanted to be the largest hotel in the world, I would say, give me your places to rent and I'll send you back leads, Airbnb. YouTube doesn't create videos. Facebook doesn't create profiles. Google's homepage is a search bar. They don't create websites. Okay, so if I can just start chipping away, saying leads is where to go, even if you have to send yourself a lead, and reoccurring income is the way you want to land, because you only want to do this crap for another year. You focus on this, create your annual income, and you're good to go. I'm good to go. I don't have to work. Income comes in because I sold once. And I sent myself the lead. And I got on media to talk about it. It's so easy. And you've got the recurring income program, you've got the website, you got the media list, you got everything. It's easy. I don't know what keeps getting in everyone's way. So there.
Thank you, Lee. Sign me up. Of course, I'm a co-creator. What can I say? With the We Empower You Business in a Box. And every time I hear you speak, Lee, I'm reminded of how simple and easy this is, and how sometimes I get in my own way and trip all over myself. But you have the way, and We Empower You is the way. I see that Sal has his microphone open, and then we're just going to take one by one everybody who has a question. Go ahead and ask away.
So Lee,
Yes.
This is the obviously the resonating message, right? There's no doubt about it to me, I think, and maybe to all of us here. The resonating message is we want to break free financially. And then everything else is a cascading blessing at that point. But what was the pathway to have for you that you decided or discovered that was that one resonating message that, like, I'll even use the car insurance thing, like you weren't passionate about it, but you found one specific thing within the car industry, car insurance thing that you knew would resonate. How did you find it? Was it just a Google search through like a keyword?
No. It's so funny, Sal. It's from my experience.
Okay.
I was totally broke. And I knew I had to reduce my car insurance rates because I had to drive. And I started searching for the lowest car insurance rates. And I saved $300. And at that time, I thought the world should know about this.
Right.
Okay. Now, Sal, I'll tell you this for sure. What I did was when I did that, the internet wasn't even born. I put that on a 900 number where people would have to dial in to get the search done, and I got paid by the 900 number. I was the only non-sex person using 900 numbers. And it was ridiculous because Bell Canada at that time would have these meetings, and these slimy, creepy creatures that were all involved in the 900 numbers would come to this meeting, and I was there in the pearls and a short skirt. But here's what happened. Kayvon, who is now a multimillionaire too, because he worked for me for several years doing his own business, but he got it. He came to me and said, I love what you do. Why don't you put it on the internet, Lee? And I said, okay, here's how we're going to put it on the internet. We're not changing a thing I'm doing in real life. I got one message and one result. If you can mirror what's working for me in real life, then we'll put it on the internet. So I don't change any pattern. And he did. And within the first month, I made $300. And at that time, I was making from the 900 numbers, maybe $6,000 a month. But the first month, I made $300, didn't change my message. And I thought I could live on $300 a month because I did nothing for it. And then I slowly stopped my offline and I went 100% online with one message, one action, and one revenue stream. And then, you know, that's it. So from your knowledge and experience, but you got to connect those. What are they searching for? What's your message? What's your action that you're going to give that person that will help them and make you money? And then can you turn it into a recurring income? Because that you get that down, you're good to go. I mean, you know, people think of all kinds of things, but if they just thought of that and just check those boxes off, they would be. And now with your cell phone, you can be your own Angie's List. So you can keep your message, but you can expand through your directory. And then when you've got that one message, and you're on a radio station with that one message, and people are coming to you for the answer, and then they see you've got a resource section targeted at that. Yes, I like red shoes, and there's a red skirt that will match it perfectly. See what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Sal. That was, and our conversation was really inspiring. I really appreciate that. And I think, you know, and I'm willing to work with everybody because this message will save so many souls. Vicky?
Yeah, hi. I wanted to ask you about the recurring income aspect.
Yeah.
In the insurance business, when you gave them the lead, you were paid for that one lead, but they continued to have that customer on an ongoing basis, year after year, making money on their car insurance.
Yeah.
How did that to me is recurring income. Did you capitalize on that portion of how did you do that?
No, that was part of my learning curve. I thought, oh, I had to keep promoting my next business. I'm going to send myself leads and I'm going to create a recurring income, which I did with Income Activator. Right now, I get on the radio and the media. I send myself leads. People get my product, and then the revenue recurs month after month, year after year. So, but my recurring income was very, very minimal because it's just the website platform. Then I bump into Bettina. She gets it after 2 years, right? And then she says, yeah, but I think I want a higher recurring income than just, splitting the $60 with you, Lee, at $30. She said, I gotta do better than that. I said, okay, let's do better. Let's give people everything I used to be incredibly successful. Let's give them a TV show spotlight. Let's give them sponsors. Let's give them media contacts. And most importantly, let's keep them away from the self-proclaimed gurus and have weekly mentoring meetings when we're not taking thousands of dollars from you and making you work like stupid. We're talking to you about stuff we've actually done and saying, here it is. When you get stuck, let us know. I'll tell you how to unstick yourself. So that's when I partnered up with Bettina. And I said, well, Bettina, we're going to do the same revenue split 50-50. We'll manage the business in a box because it's the best platform out there for anyone. I mean, just ask anyone that has gone onto a WordPress website and spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars on their WordPress website and still not making very much money at all, if at all, So Bettina just said, let's partner up and we're going to give the same split to the entrepreneur so that if they're into promoting, the platform, we're into managing it, and we'll just keep helping people out so that they can make that base and then move on to whatever they want to do, which is, whatever. I'm not sure whatever I want to do after this. So, yes, Libby, hi.
Hi there. So you're using your car insurance company again, example. What if the car insurance agency that you referred to is not any good or not very good or whatever the business is? If you're making referrals, don't you need to interview that business and have some sense of how good they are?
Absolutely.
Before you,
Mhm.
so how do
Absolutely,
you
yeah.
deal with that?
Well, most of the businesses you recommend, you're probably already recommending them. So I would start with the businesses you're already recommending because you're recommending them because they're good businesses. And you're saying, don't go with, if someone's looking for a bookkeeper, that's hard to find. But if you've got a good one, I'm all over it like a kid on a candy bar. If you've got a good mechanic, tell me who that is. I'll drive to that mechanic. If you got somebody that can take 5 pounds off me, sign me up,
So are you basically saying you're only making one referral per category?
Well, the software allows you to, let's say you have 5 accountants that you love, and they can only take a certain amount of business. The software will rotate from accountant to accountant. So you can do that. It will do it per zip code, postal code. It will stop if they have a limit on the amount of leads they want. This software is very specific and it's very good. The Toronto Star would not have paid me over $2 million for it, for a piece of crap. That, by the way, they're still using. I created it in 1994. It's what, 2005, 25? Okay, almost 30 years later, they're still using the same software. Okay, so the software.
What is this software?
Pardon?
What is the software you're
It's a
referring to?
lead tracking software, basically saying send leads to this accountant. It'll track it and create the invoice. You can't buy it anywhere. You just have to get it through the Income Activator website, which is pretty inexpensive because the Income Activator website, it runs $60 a month. Bettina's business in a box is $15.99 on an annual basis. And when you sell 2, let's just say it's free because you've just made $800 twice. That's the extent of math I do. So, and the other thing is I hold if somebody gets stuck, I'm here on Skype most of the day from 9 a.m. to about 3. Sal caught me in my Wednesday meetings, so I'm here later. But I mean, I'm happy to hold people's hands through it if they get stuck. Here, listen to this video. If you have any questions, then let's go for it. If you get stuck, you know, I've got programmers that fix things. We want to get you through this. We want to get you through doing this, because once you get it, once you push away all the crap you're dealing with, because you're dealing with, I don't know what Bettina keeps throwing in front of herself, but something. Once you get through it, once you just stop it, you're good. You're really good.
Amy
So,
has a
I have a
question.
quick question.
Yeah, hey, Amy, how you doing? I just met Amy this week through Debbie, and she
Yeah,
was like, oh my God.
light bulbs went off, and yes, lots of questions. But can you explain the process of how you have people sign up with those referrals
Okay,
and
very
agree to to pay the
amount?
commission? Mhm.
Okay, well, this is so crazy. Again, I would start with one person that you recommend that's in the field that you're trying to do. That's it. I got Tom. Okay, I asked my friend Rick, who's in the insurance industry, if he knows anybody that will pay me $5 per lead. That was Tom. I called up Tom and I said, Rick said you'd pay me $5 per lead. And Tom said, okay, well, Rick said so. Never met Tom, but then I started sending myself the first 10, 20 leads to make sure they qualified, and then opened the gates. And Tom, who was part of Hub Insurance at that time, that was not public, is now public. And it wasn't until I billed Tom $54,000 in lead revenue one month that I decided to get another broker, just in case Tom went away. And Tom was pissed that I did that. But so you just hone in your message. You just start at the very tip. And here's the best thing. If you just keep it simple, know what people are searching for, know your message back to them, and then tell them what you want them to do that helps them out and benefits you, gives you money, leads to your revenue stream. And if you can tie that to an annual income, you will never have to work again. Know what people are searching for. Know how you're going to answer it. Take that answer and control them. Give them an action that helps them out, that benefits you by making you money, and feed it into an annual income. You do that, and you don't have to do anything else. And if you do that, and you just follow that very simple system, and how am I going to get visitors? Well, you've got your message now. You can call up a radio station and say, this is it. This is the message to the world that will help out your audience. And it doesn't have to be sexy. Car insurance isn't sexy. Isn't sexy, but the crashes are. And when I might as well just tell you, when I decided to compare 100,000 drivers' tickets and accidents to their astrological signs, and came out with a book called Car Karma, I was on CNN. That was sexy. But I didn't know anything about astrology either. I just saw Pisces gets a lot of tickets. I looked up at the astrological sign, says that they're the daydreaming sign. Of course, they're missing the speed traps. On CNN Live, the AMs, oh no, not CNN, there's another one, CBC, Canada Live to air. And they said, Lee, we're going to interview you about Car Karma. And now I'm talking about insurance, which I know nothing about. And now I'm talking about astrology, which I know nothing about, on CBC Live. And then they said, we're piping in JoJo, the astrologer, and blood's running down my ear. Okay, I said, great. I must have taken the stuff from her website because I got through it. She said she concurred with my book, which I just uploaded from my notes 2 days prior that I hadn't even read. And people were, what, they're lining outside my office, because at that time we had offices, trying to buy my book. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't spell, I can't spell. It's so embarrassing. So anyway, so yeah. So I did everything I didn't know how to do. So that's why I can answer all your questions.
Lee, I have another quick question with
Sure,
regard
okay.
to the message. So my shtick is going to be sort of a an advisory.
The real estate advocate, right?
Right.
Yes. So that's
So,
big.
I know.
Focus down to the one thing that people,
That's what I wanted to talk to you about, is the one thing that everybody is going to be asking. Now, do I get that from the Google Key?
no, you get it from your head.
Okay,
You get it from your experience. You've talked to many people. What's the biggest grievance? And that's what people do a lot that's wrong. They go to the Google Keyword Planner and think, oh, now I'm really confused. Get it from your experience, your head. What is a big thing that people always come to you about? What would you, if you were on CP24, what is that one message you would tell them? Not the, like, you have to lead with something. And Ann Romer's there saying, so tell me something. And so from your experience, tell them the one thing they need to know about is real estate before they get folded, spindled, and mutilated.
well, there's a ton of questions that people ask.
I know, find the one thing. You got to lead somewhere. A pyramid doesn't start with all the bricks on the top. Starts with an introduction with somebody doesn't start with everything you know. Starts with one thing.
How about the things that they don't know that
Okay, the
they-
one thing they don't know, you got to just start with something. You can't, when you speak, not all the words fall out of your mouth at the same time, and people couldn't even absorb it. But you start with one thing. What's the thing you're going to start with? That's it.
I'm not sure. That's the
Well,
problem.
Then talk to your friends and family. You know what you forgot? Here's what you forgot. You forgot the pain that you started with. You forgot the pain of people getting into this. You're not hurting because you got too much knowledge, but the people that don't have that knowledge have a lot of pain and confusion, and you forgot that pain. You grew out of it. Got to get back to that pain.
Okay,
I'm a real prick, aren't I?
Lee,
No,
so
I'm
it's,
just,
Lee, so it sounds like, I mean, really, when it comes down to it, the one thing it sounds like we've really got to keep in mind and not really forget is we're not trying to sell the whole
No.
hit and caboodle to one person. There's 1,000 people who need to bite their way out of the problem that they're in. And we're looking for the 1,000 people a month that want to bite their way out. And we have that immediate first step to get them going, whatever that first step is. And, and I think sometimes we think about like, well, when they first come, we have to have the next thing and then the next thing and then the next thing. And that becomes overwhelming to the person.
Yeah, I know. Let's get autoresponders and
Right. It's just really,
Talk.
like you said, I think you nailed it though, when you said it's one message, one action, one revenue stream,
that's
rinse
it.
and repeat. And if that is really the most basic parts, and if we can't get that, then we're not going to get anything else anyway. And neither will the people that we're trying to reach, because if we don't have that, they're certainly not going to get it.
Exactly. There
right?
you go. Exactly. One thing. Do one thing right that you can copy over and over till you get the revenue stream that you're happy with. And once you can retire on that, you can confuse the world all you want
Yeah.
with everything, but just make one thing work. And the thing is, having done this for 30 years, I know, I mean, I would not waste my time talking to people that if I didn't absolutely 100% know that this business in a box is going to kick ass. And once there is a start, like for $15.99 for an entrepreneur, it's nothing. And once this starts rolling, it is going to be like, we know already, and we're going to be the ones that people are going to go to. And it's just going to happen. And I'm step in step with Bettina. We're starting this huge, I spent 3 weeks doing my press, what is it called? My press room, because we are hitting this like a bat out of hell. And then when you guys join the meeting, and then there's going to be more and more people joining in, then Amy's going to say, well, look, I can help you guys out with the website. I can, Sal, I can help you out with the promotion. Mary says, I can help you out doing this. And it is going to roll. And it is going to be great. And it doesn't mean you're not going to do what you can do. It's you can still do what you're going to do. You can just simply have the business in a box in your store and say, hey, yeah, go and grab it from me.
Yeah.
Because I'm way more charismatic than, Bettina.
Mary has a question next.
Hey, Mary.
Hi, I wanted to ask about the the zip code thing on the lead generator. If I were to start with recommending resources in the Seattle area, where I happen to refer a lot of people, clearly, my reach on Facebook and those other places is well beyond Seattle. So how could I frame that? I mean, obviously the website could say, need something in Seattle, here it is, but.
Yeah, I mean, you can be focused on Seattle. There's two ways of going at it. If I'm doing a lead thing, I would prefer to getting a company on that can handle lead. I mean, if you gone onto another lockdown, you're in big trouble anyway. So I would like to get my first referral from something, send a lead to somebody that they can handle remotely, whether it's someone in Seattle or whether it's someone in New York. If they can handle it remotely, that's where I'm going to be smart about this. I'm not going to send them to the vet around the corner. I'm just not, because I'm online. So that's how I would think. So for you, if you want to do it locally, you can do it. And then certainly the system says Seattle, and then it says, send me, I'll see if I can find somebody for you in New York if you want to do that. But you see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, in other words, you're saying pivot here and pick something that's already nationwide.
Yeah, I mean, focus on somebody that can handle something remotely.
Like a tax accountant.
Like a tax accountant, yeah. Yeah. And yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just go, and again, Seattle local, radio stations. I mean, look at you're part of the business in the box. Look and see all the radio talk shows that you've got. It says all the topics. Just look in there fast.
Look in there for what?
Okay, so you go to, let me just share my screen very quickly. Okay, if you go to We Empower You, you're part of the business in the box. You go to your login, member login.
Hit the share screen.
Oh, crap. Okay,
It's
so we go to
weempoweryourlife.com. Yeah.
weempoweryourlife.com, scroll down. Click on member login.
Okay.
Bettina has how you log in. Okay, so you can get that from Bettina.
Mhm.
When you log in, you go to your radio section, radio station contacts. Okay, just click
Right.
there. There's over 400 radio station contacts. Their names, producers, the shows, the audience size between 50 to 100,000. And you just pitch them your deal. You just say, hey, I think your listening audience would love this. But let's baby step you first. What are people searching for? What's your message back to them? What is the action you're going to ask them to take that makes you money?
And
And
then,
at the same time, we can do your directory.
okay, so then after you've got your focus, then you can hit up the media.
Yeah, because when you got your focus, now that focus shockingly is all your ads, all your interviews, all your TV shows, because it's the message that resonates with people. That
Okay.
one thing, so you don't mix it up, because it won't, if you mix it up, you've just mixed up the service, you just mixed up the whole thing. You say, okay, my message is best red shoes, and all of a sudden you're on the radio station saying black tux, and they're coming to your website. They say black tux, what's this red shoe crap? You can't mix your message up. Get your message, follow the system. You say, I'm not even asking you for many messages, I'm just asking you for one. Just follow the system. That's it. Stop being so smart. You don't need to tell everybody everything you need to know. They need to know. You can do that eventually. Now I'm doing that. But to start, one thing, make one thing work. Make the system work. And once you're good at it, just, Bob's your uncle. And get that recurring income. I mean, just get that, land on the reoccurring income like it's never been landed on before, because this is your way out. This is why Bettina and I spent 2 years creating this. This is your way out. This is everyone's way out of working. And I don't tell you anything I haven't done myself.
So the secret here is to have a referral to something that is pretty universal. And then you can connect them to one person or a hub, a broker.
Well, no, you gotta have a message that resonates with your audience. Like when I was talking to Vicky, just one thing that resonates with your topic that you could get on a radio show and help save some souls with. Like, what do you lead with? Save souls. Give them the information. I was saying to Sal, I've had 2 back operations. If Income Activator goes down, I'll get on and talk about what to do when your back hurts. I'm not a doctor, but I can refer people.
But if you're referring them to a doctor, that doctor's local.
That was just a quick example.
Got it.
Thought of quick example.
Yeah, I hear you.
What I was probably going to do, like after I sold income insurance hotline, I went to create a website to send leads to lawyers, because lawyers paid $250 per lead for accidents. And that's where I had the aha moment. I went to WordPress, GoDaddy, Wix, and I saw the crap that you were given. And after, at that point, 25 years or 20 years of making millions of dollars online, I could not make those website platforms make money like the multi-million-dollar companies. Couldn't do it. And I knew that they would be constantly not giving me what I wanted and constantly asking me for more money. And I had a lot of money. I knew they would take it. They would take it all. That's why I created the platform, so that it gives control to the entrepreneur, and it's not giving them an inadequate website and saying, try to sell something that doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead. Any more questions? Before we wrap
Sal
this
had
up?
a comment, I think.
Paul? Hey, Paul.
Oh, sorry, who,
Oh.
did someone else have a comment?
Oh, Sal,
No,
Paul?
Sal.
No.
Oh, so Lee, again, I'm just thinking about really, that resonating message. I think for me, and I think for all of us, I think for those of us that have tried to, make money online through the internet, it's getting out of our head of all the other niches. And again, it could be, we're just looking for that one niche, that one message that resonates with a lot of people.
No, it doesn't even have to be a lot of people, but it's nice if it does. But yeah, as
That's
long as
enough,
it doesn't,
right?
if it could go on a radio show, let's put it this way, if it could go on a radio show. So I guess that is a lot of people, Paul. Sal, you're right. I
Right,
regret.
so at least enough that, it generates the revenue that you need. So whether it's 100 people that want the business in a box, or whether it is, 1,000 people or 3,000 people who just want the website because it gives them the platform to do everything, whatever it is that works.
1,000 people is your $1 million business, Sal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Recurring income. Yeah, recurring income. So you do the work once.
you
one
do
message,
the work once. Yes.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
message, one action, one revenue stream, do the work once, get it working. And I think for me and for many people, 95% of us who try to make money online haven't made a dime because there's too many cogs in the wheel, too many things that get in our way, that slow us down. And there's too much conflicting philosophies. It's not just the information. It's you
Yeah.
can do it this way, and it worked for that person over here. And you can do it this way, and it worked for that. And we're trying to, we got to get out of that, just like you said, focus. That's the message that I'm taking away. One message, and now I've got to go back to the website, Just My Scoop. And I'm really actually thinking about changing, I've got to go back and hone that message on all my marketing on that platform right now.
Yeah.
Because that to me, if I'm going to send anybody there, from the time they show up to any link on there, it has to have one message. And that's where I know I'm going to spend my time in this next week, is getting that all finished, period. Because it doesn't work any other way.
Yeah, I'm here. And as I said, and I've done this, and it's good, and it's freeing.
I think I had a light bulb moment.
You did?
I think so. I think the question, the sort of the generic question that's a positive one as opposed to, a negative one, is can I afford to buy what I want? Can I afford to?
That is,
move?
yeah. How can I afford to buy what I want? How can I afford to buy what I want?
Right.
That is a brilliant message.
Because they can go to their bank, or they'll get sort of a streamlined response, or they can go to a mortgage broker. But a lot of people don't even know what a mortgage broker is, what the difference is between that and going to the bank. It's like going to the insurance company versus going to an insurance broker. But most people don't understand that. We think we do. I mean, because I've been in the business for 15 years, I think, doesn't everybody know that? But I'm constantly amazed at what they don't know. And they're probably sitting there thinking, how do I do this? Like, I don't want to go to my bank because I don't want to be told no, so they don't know where to go. Anyway, I think I have the message that I'm going
City
to run
TV
with.
would love that message. CB24 would love that message.
Yeah. How do I get started? How do I, can I buy something? Can I move? Yeah.
So create your
gonna work on
directory
that.
with all those resources in, and you be the message. Yeah.
I have 24 people that I can put in my directory that all are related to buying, selling, moving, everything. It's
Right.
incredible.
So ask those 24 people to pay you $100
Yeah.
to do the page setup. That's $2,400. So that we've just made money.
Yeah.
Okay. And now get on City TV with that message.
Well, you scare me every time you say stuff like that.
I'm here to scare.
And get out of my comfort zone.
It will become your comfort zone. It will become your comfort zone. Trust me. I was not good at it to begin with. I was like, as I said, I had to do a presentation in front of Shoppers Drug Mart, and I was in the washroom for 3 hours before I did it. I am not good at this. Every TV show I did with City, even my own, I felt awful after doing it. But I did it
Yeah,
and I learned.
yeah, we always think that we're worse than we are, so.
Yeah, sometimes we are. Like, I'm not coming here with any kind of like, everybody knows I can't spell here. Everybody knows that I barely scraped through university. Everybody knows I used to carve candles for the Hare Krishna. Okay, we're not talking high end. We're talking about this woman that freaking tried to find the lowest car insurance rates. Okay, so we're, yeah, and I'm just saying, I'm just probably not as smart as you guys. Because I just, whoa, that worked, that worked, that worked. You know, and I'm happy that I'm not, because I would not want your life.
You took action, and that's the key to
that's-
everything. You
That's
just
good.
went out there and took action. You didn't pick it apart and analyze it and try to figure out, is this gonna work or that gonna work? You just went forward and took action, and it
Yep.
all
Okay,
exploded.
so one more thing before we head up, because I love your take action thing. You're right, I would take action. And I want to show you something I did, because I'm doing my media page, right, Bettina?
Yep.
That you guys could do. I was at a dinner and they were having an auction. Okay, an auction. And what they were auctioning was lunch with the mayor of Toronto. And the guy screwed up. He said, no. Who wants to be mayor for a day? So he said mayor for a day instead of lunch with the mayor. And let me just see if I've got this story. Oh, where is it? Just bear with me. That's probably not it. Let me just share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, let me just go here. See if I can find it easily. This is a directory that Bettina helped me make, which is good. The press directory, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Bettina, talk about, by the way, the media with Lynette, just before we want to look at this, try to find this out.
Sure. So let me go back here. So one of the cool parts about this program, working with the genius Lee from Income Activator, is that we also can grow from where we started, right? And so one of the things we talk about all the time is getting on the media. And it turns out that we needed to clean up Lee's press room and make it more modern and up to date, and, you know, literally put every single thing that a media person would actually need right front and center. And so this is the result of that effort. And I work with Lynette Hoy, and Lynette and myself are both communications and PR experts. And together we're going to get Lee on major media. And that is our goal. And now we're about ready to kick that off next week.
And the other thing, okay, so you can see my screen. As I said, can't spell, but because I pitched the Toronto Star so many stories, they made me a columnist. And then because I was a columnist for the Toronto Star, the Globe and Mail chased me. I had people help me write because I was not good at it. But when I was talking about the mayor for a day, I put my hand up and I bought being mayor of Toronto for a day. So I got involved in politics, and I actually wrote a song and performed it on stage in front of 450 people. I do not dance. I do not sing. I do not do anything that I've done, but I put myself out there like Vicky said. Okay, so I got a list. I'll show you the mayor of the song because I got somebody, like I got people to write articles for me to sing this for me, but I wrote it. So I'll show you the words as we go through. Let's go, Tio. I'm there for a day, all taxes go away, I can find forgiveness day. Wanna make some noise, really raise my voice, yeah, and I went the whole way. Can you hear it? No radar tapping, no music rapping, long weekends all the time. I ain't gonna act politically correct, I only have a little time. The best thing about being the mayor is that I only have to do it for a day. I'm totally crazy, so get him a lady, Mel shoes, things new. Going it wild, yeah, doing it in style. Get in the action, the satisfaction, the friends that catch with Michelle. Give me a call, yeah, I'm running City Hall. Man, I feel like the mayor. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that I was not born with this. I fill in when I need to fill in, but it's fun. It's really fun doing stuff you've never done before and just opening doors and figuring things out. And it'll get you to incredible places. I can't sing.
Mary has a question. That was fantastic.
That's-
Unmute.
Those are the kind of questions I like to hear when I can't.
I just wanted to tell Vicky that she presents beautifully online and she should have no fear of being interviewed.
Yeah, I know she does.
Thank you, Mary. I was,
So Lee, was that you singing?
yeah, I wanted to know that too.
No, it was a woman. So not me. But when I went to a friend of mine, I said, I'm having this inaugural ball. And he says, what do you mean you're having an inaugural ball? And I said, well, I just made it up and I'm having an inaugural ball and I'm inviting people and I need somebody to sing this Shania Twain song because I would love to be on stage like Shania Twain. He says, I know somebody. Just like Rick said he knew Tom and sent $5 leads. She sang the song for me. I was on stage mouthing the words. Okay, even more, okay? I had, for my inaugural ball, a parade down Yonge Street. I did not know that you needed a something. Permit, yeah,
Permit.
to have a parade. I got a cease and desist order 20
Right,
minutes
you
before
got
the
arrested.
parade. So
much?
one of my friends tore it up and said, what's cease and desist order? And we had a parade with fire trucks, okay?
Oh, wow.
One more thing, why not?
What year was this, Lee? Because
Look
I
at
live in
this.
Toronto.
Look
What
at
year was this?
This was 2001, 2 or something like that. 2002. So here, this was the beginning of my inaugural ball. The fire trucks, these are firemen. They're hauling me up. This is after my cease and desist order. This is the coverage I get the next day, right?
Oh, how fun.
Look
Great.
at- What if I were mayor? Look at this, man, she feels like a mayor. Okay, so just get in people's faces,
That's great.
enjoy. I
Yeah,
didn't, this was never predicted,
that's
but
right.
it just, yeah, unless you do it, you won't go down that road.
Yeah, you just gain the confidence as you go along. Mary has a question.
You keep on forgetting to open up your mic, Mary.
Do I still have a question? Okay, so if we're doing this and our directory is, so let's assume I were selling business in a box,
Yeah,
which of course my website says I am. And then I can put in all the other supporting things that people might need, like a bookkeeper, an attorney, or a this or a that. I can put those into my directory, right, after contacting them?
yeah, just invite people to be part of your directory that you already send leads to.
Okay, good. And then
So
I'm,
so next
Mhm.
week, just give me 4 people that you would send leads to that be part of your directory.
got
Think
it.
of 4 people and then call me.
Yeah.
And everybody can do the same thing. And then I'll walk you through this. Yeah, Vicky?
This is a question for Bettina. Because I'm such a newbie, I don't know what this other website was, the Empower.
So we
Website?
empower
Oh,
you.
weempoweryourlife.com.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so Lee, can you bring up weempoweryourlife.com?
Sure.
So the website for this community is weempoweryourlife.com, and the website features what we have coined the business in a box. And then in addition to that program, we actually put it in a program that's a payment solution. So it allows anyone to just say yes. We give you 90 days to give us a whirl. And it's just on the top right there. And you complete the form, you pick a templative website, and it comes with the keys to the kingdom, which is what Mary was asking, or Lee was describing for Mary about going in the back and accessing the opportunities that we have as part of the membership. And that's the $1,599 a year. So you have 3 months on your own to check it out. Lee takes 2 days to put together, business days, to put a website that's templated for you together. And then you consume and use it and do some of these things that we're talking about, get on the media, get your directory going, start getting paid for leads, and give it 90 days. And if it's not for you, no harm, no foul. If it is for you, then you choose to pay either monthly or just all at one time. You can also bring in 2 new members, and that pays for your membership. And always, if there's a person who referred you to us, they get $800 because they get half of that $1,599.
So, Lee, I guess I came in the back door, did I?
Well, no, you're doing something totally different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
you don't want to deviate from what you're doing to this, because what you're doing is what you're doing. You can add the business in a box to what you're doing on a business side of things, but
Yeah.
you're really focusing on real estate.
I actually went, as I said, when I first met you, I found you accidentally because I was looking for companies that would be interested in receiving leads. And how did I go about that in any way? Somehow I've gone back into the internet to try to find you by asking similar questions, and I can't find you anymore. Like it was a real fluke that I found Income Activator on its own.
Yeah, well, and that's fine, because I purposely not promote it, because I don't want to, well, I've been grooming and doing stuff, and I don't want to influx of people. I like the speed that people are coming on right now. And
I figured that might be the reason, actually.
yeah, I don't need to be, if all of a sudden I was like a WordPress, nobody would have what we've got right now.
Right.
It would not serve anybody.
Makes
And-
sense.
Yeah, and until it does, until I get a few warriors behind, I won't have time to do what I'm doing. So I want to take this time to get some really solid warriors, maybe 100 or 200 people, because when I go, like we're gonna go on the media, I'm not gonna have the ability to do the websites, to do this, to give you this kind of time.
And what
So-
are you doing? What are you doing with the media? What is that media press?
I'm gonna be talking about the Income Activator website and the Business in a Box, and how people can, basically what we talked about today. Because there are so many people suffering. There's so many sort of lost souls. I'm so glad that Amy's come into this, because I can give her websites to do that people will need her business.
And so many people getting ripped off, like
Oh,
really.
yeah.
Yeah,
ripped off.
really badly
Terrible.
taken. Like
Terrible.
we're talking about tens of
No,
thousands.
I'm one of them. I'm a
Okay.
$10,000 story.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, it's so tragic. It's tragic. What's happening to people. There is no entrepreneur, and we're all entrepreneurs, that are doing anything for the entrepreneurs. We're not, and, I'm trying to get a group of entrepreneurs that really care about entrepreneurs, getting them through the system so that they can help direct. So I won't be able to do it all. So
And you
that's
can
what,
always be a part of the community. You do not need to be a member to benefit from
these
getting
weekly-
$800 for referring us. You don't have to be a member to attend our Wednesday meetings, because we offer these mentoring sessions for anyone who needs help. And I also do on last Friday of the month, I do a mentoring session that's global. And so everybody's welcome to attend that at 9:30 in the morning on Friday, the last Friday.
Yeah.
So with that said, are we complete? Are there any final questions, final thoughts from you, Lee?
How do I find out about the what you're doing, Bettina? With
Uh,
on
the-
Friday, is it like once a month, the last Friday of every month? Or?
Yes, I will put the link in the chat, and that way you
Okay.
can join us.
Okay,
And
thank you.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
We Empower You is the Business in a Box.
Yeah.
That's what you're promoting. Got it.
That's
Okay.
where their home, that's where the Business in a Box home is.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the
And-
main thing is that anybody can refer us, and we pay them as an affiliate or as a member $800, 50/50.
I mean,
Okay. I'll be
I
on it.
I didn't do the Business in the Box, but Tina did it. And I've added it to my revenue, my product line, because it makes more money. That's the bottom line. and It gives a person a better service. So that's why I've added it. And, yeah. So anyway, as Sal said, write down those 5 things, check them off, do it, make it work, and then go nuts and give yourself a target of 100 people, $80,000 a year. Done. Thank you. Take a
Yes.
bow.
Can we interact? Can we interact with the people that are on this meeting, for instance? Like,
Don't
If-
talk to anybody, no.
Yes, you can. What I would suggest is before we sign off, everybody put your information in the chat, and then also save the chat, and that way you have the contact information. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in the details for this Friday's meeting. And let me just do that right now. A little multitasking here.
So my mayor's song was really good, wasn't it?
It was. And we didn't hear from several folks that are attending here. So I'm going to sign off of Facebook for now, but I'll hold the We Empower You community Zoom link open for just a little bit longer. And just give me 1 sec to say goodbye here.
do you know,
And for those of you who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, because we also put our meetings on YouTube. If you're wanting to join our meetings, go to weempoweryourlife.com and click on the tab for calendar. That'll give you the Zoom details for our Wednesday meetings, which are every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Or you can also attend our quarterly summits, which are March the 8th or the second Wednesday of every quarter. So we look forward to seeing all of you back for the summit. And that's where we feature our speakers from our membership, as well as some other speakers that we've met throughout the year. And we feature 24 over a 12-hour day. And it's going to start at 8:30 a.m. as usual. It's our 12th. We look forward to seeing you there. So everybody go to weempoweryourlife.com and click on the calendar tab and join us next week. We'd love to have you.
How do you save the chat?